Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about XoDos, which is a fully fledged X server with Turnip and Winlator touch controls together in one app. It's built with Android NDK, and XoDos just got a big brand new update. So at the time of filming, XoDos version 5.3.0 is the latest update, and XoDos has a brand new look and feel here, and on top of that, they've got bug fixes, new features, improvements, and even more. As for what's new, they say they've got a revamped UI, pre-installed themes, beginner-friendly help tutorial, quick settings for new users, dual user mode, auto hardware acceleration, multi-distro support, and even more. Next up, we're talking about game preservation with MAME, and this may be exciting for some people. So it's being reported that new JAKKS-specific plug-and-play games are going to be supported in MAME. A whole bunch of JAKKS-specific plug-and-play games have been dumped. Some of these games include The Amazing Spider-Man and Villain Roundup, Marvel Heroes Ultimate Action, Shrek, and even more. Now, these are not playable in MAME just yet, but they are on the way. And speaking about stuff on the way, next up we're talking about something that has just arrived. And that's the weekly Mesa Turnip drivers. If you've got an Android device with a Snapdragon CPU and an Adreno GPU, you might be excited to know that Mesa Turnip driver version 25.2.0 revision 6 has just dropped. Now, these drivers work better in certain emulators with certain games. You may have to experiment with them, but they are now available. And speaking about making stuff available, next up we're talking about Embracer Group. And wow, Embracer Group has made an announcement that they plan to release 76 different games in the next year. That's a lot. They say right here, as of today, we expect to release 76 different games during fiscal year 25-26 that we have invested in, with a mix of new IPs, sequels, and remasters. We have a solid slate of exciting new releases in fiscal year 25-26, including Metal Eden, Gothic 1 Remake, Reanimal, Fellowship, Recreation, and the next SpongeBob SquarePants game, and even more. Furthermore, it seems that Embracer is going through some rebranding, so apparently here Coffee Stain is going to be called Coffee Stain Group, and it will contain Coffee Stain, Ghost Ship, and Tuxedo Labs, as well as certain studios from Amplifier Game Invest. On top of that here, it seems that by the end of 2025, Embracer Group AB is getting a rebrand into Fellowship Entertainment. Now, being real here, I'm not really surprised about any of this for a couple of different reasons. Number one, Embracer being, well, Embracer. If you're familiar with Embracer, you may know what I'm talking about. And number two here, because of financials. I'm taking a look at this, and in my opinion, these financials do not look good at all, and I can see why the company is trying to do something, or multiple things. Apparently, net sales have decreased year over year by negative 18%, with PC and console game sales taking the biggest hit of negative 27%. That is a significant dip, and they're probably scrambling to try to do something to rebrand and, well, make things better for the next year. But let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Are you surprised that they're going to be putting out 76 games? And what do you think about that number? Are you surprised about the rebranding? And I guess, what do you think about that? And what do you think about Embracer? I'm curious to know. Next up, we're talking about Twitch, and it seems that Twitch's newest initiative is generating a little bit of blowback, and here it is. So they say, we are rolling out the ability to buy bits and gift subs with the money you make streaming on Twitch. Give back to your community or support other streamers you love using your spendable balance. We're starting the rollout in the US in the coming days, and we'll be extending access globally over the course of the year. So here's what people are pointing out. So people give subs to support creators and you take 50%. Then creators use their cut to buy bits or give subs to support others, and then Twitch takes another 50%. That's basically double taxing. This person here says, this might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Supporter donates $100 worth of subs. Twitch gets 50 and creator gets 50. Twitch now says, hey creator, you can use that 50 we paid you to support another streamer. Next creator gets 25 and Twitch gets a total of $75. Now tell me how this makes sense. Well, based on my understanding, this makes a lot of sense for Twitch. I have seen a few positive comments, but most of them here have been extremely negative. Let me know your thoughts here if you do use Twitch. Next up here, we're talking about Xbox Game Pass. And if you've got Xbox Game Pass and you like classic games or retro games, you might be excited about this. So Xbox has just launched over 50 retro games on Game Pass, including stuff like MechWarrior and Pitfall and even more. And speaking about storefronts, next up we're talking about the PlayStation Store, and the Multiverse of Games sale is now live with over 2,000 items. MP First has you covered if you're interested in it and wanted to learn more about it, because they've got everything listed, including the discount percent and the final price. And there is a lot of stuff in this one. There's some very heavy hitters and some lighter hitters. And speaking about giving out stuff like discounts, next up we're talking about the exact opposite, taking away, and we're still talking about Sony. So here's the latest announcement over on the PlayStation blog. PlayStation Stars coming to a close as Sony Interactive Entertainment evaluates new ways to evolve future loyalty program efforts. So here are the key messages. Starting today, PlayStation Stars will no longer accept new members for this version of the program. If members choose to cancel their PlayStation Stars membership starting today, it will not be possible to rejoin this version of the program, and members will lose all earned points. Current PlayStation Stars members can still earn digital collectibles points and level up their status until July 23rd. That's pretty soon. After this date, there will be no PlayStation Stars campaigns available or any additional rewards or status benefits to earn. And lastly, this version of the PlayStation Stars program will fully end on November 2nd, 2026. And current PlayStation Stars members can continue to redeem points as long as their points don't expire before then. Now, if you've got stuff already on PlayStation Stars, they say that PlayStation Stars members can still access their digital collectibles even after these changes take place. This is a pretty quick program. It launched in 2022 and it's already being sunset. If you use PlayStation Stars, let me know your thoughts. And speaking about Stars, next up we're talking about Star Fox EX, which is an SNES ROM hack for Star Fox. And it's a pretty big ROM hack. We've talked about this one on the channel before, but it just got a very big brand new update. And the latest version is version 1.11.02. Now, before someone corrects me in the comments, I should say 1.11.02. Anyways, here there's a whole bunch of fixes, some new changes. They've changed planet center and zoom in animation on map 2. Random teammate selection is now completely random. Model test mode now changed to model viewer, and even more. Now for the additions, there's new custom ships, Y-Fighter, Quad Wing, Monocruiser, and Air Wing from the Star Fox Alpha build. There's optional new character mugshots and even more. Next up, we're shifting from flight to fight and talking about Sonic the Fighters. And it's being reported that the first functioning decompilation of Sonic the Fighters has been pushed to GitHub. It's currently all assembly language, but they say here if you know anyone who likes to fiddle with documentation, formatting, or tools, the person behind this needs all the help they can get. Sonic the Fighters was released back in 1996, and it's seen versions in the arcade on PS2, PS3, and Xbox 360, and also GameCube. And speaking about needing help, next up we're talking about Mario Kart World. It's being reported that Mario Kart World was originally a Switch 1 game, but the Switch 1 didn't have enough horsepower to really run the game very well at all, and they needed the power from the Switch 2. This is more of just a fun fact, but I guess the programming director says when we were developing for the Nintendo Switch system, it was difficult for us to incorporate everything we wanted, so we were always conscious of what we were giving up in return. We discussed things like toning down the visuals, lowering the resolution, and we even considered dropping the frame rate to 30 FPS in some cases. It was a tough situation. Next up, we're talking about SteamOS, and SteamOS is about to get a brand new feature here. It's already available in beta as of version 3.7.7 that I think a lot of people are going to like. Now, if you've got a Steam Deck or if you're going to get your hands on a Lenovo Legion Go S, you might be excited to know that there's a brand new feature here called Battery Charge Limit. And this option allows you to set a maximum charge limit for your Steam Deck. Limiting the charge to 80% can be beneficial for long-term battery health. This can be useful if your Steam Deck is constantly being charged, for example if it's docked, or very rarely has its battery depleted. Now it is worth noting that they say Steam Deck here as opposed to Lenovo Legion Go S, but I'm assuming this feature will be available on all handhelds that do use SteamOS. I could be wrong about that one, but I wouldn't suspect so. I mean, this could be a very handy feature for a lot of different handhelds out there that will eventually use SteamOS. Next up, we're talking about Fortnite, and admittedly, I forgot to talk about this one yesterday, but Fortnite is now back on the App Store in the US. It's taken a long time, a lot of back and forth, but it appears that Fortnite is now available. And it is available for iPhones and iPads. So if you've got an iOS device, you should be probably excited about this if you like Fortnite, or maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong here, but it seems as if Apple has focused its attention back to Microsoft, as Microsoft is blaming Apple for its delayed Xbox mobile store. And last up here, we're talking about Google. Now, we've covered stuff from Computex and I think Google I/O as well. But anyways here, this is one of the features that I'm very interested in coming from Google. And that's about Android Auto. So Android Auto is reportedly getting video and browser apps soon. And on top of that, Google has announced that Gemini is headed to Android Auto in the next few months. So I think all of these changes would be a huge improvement overall for the Android Auto experience. I mean, a long road trip with Gemini, if you had to ask questions, if you're curious about stuff, Gemini may be able to have that conversation and provide those answers while you can continue with hands-free driving. I don't know here. I can see a lot of use for Gemini within Android Auto, but let me know your thoughts about that. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Feel free to discuss anything we talked about in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. Check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate. Save your state.